like we were just, you know, cutting her loose. Like, should we be searching people mid-scene? Is that something I'm not like?
I think it
I don't
depends on the circumstances. I'm not opposed to it. If we have like gun bullets and shit firing over us, absolutely. But here's kind of the predicament that ends up getting created. Let's say, for example, she wants to play innocent and be like, I didn't do any of these things. We end up getting put on a very shitty position where they have now unloaded all the possessions that we would have been rightfully able to search. And as a consequence of that, we're now going to court having not completed having everything. You know what I mean? Was it Susie Carmichael? Was not Susie Carmichael? Et cetera, et cetera. I think, you know, I think it's kind of a judgment call, to be honest.
I mean, I wasn't there. Did she resist arrest?
Well, that's the thing. It was kind of 50-50, right? Like she showed up as the driver. The trunk and the engine hood got popped, which is clearly a sign of like trying to allow someone to get in the trunk. But then she got out and said, "I'm not helping," and ran away. Which then is like, okay, is she now resisting, and is that why we're tasing her, or are we tasing her because the obstruction from the trunk pop and the driving up?
Yeah, she was. It was felony obstruction of justice the moment she rolled up and popped the trunk.
Driving up like that into a scene with lights on.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty hard to claim ignorance there, because even if it's even if you can claim it's not intentional, then it's still potentially what's the other one? Non-felony obstruction, right? Misdemeanor obstruction.
Yeah.
Just by her actions are like obstructing, and she should have known better. So there's reason to detain her. So I understand that.
I think I think the moment she took the actions that she did, her jumping out of vehicle, trying to run away, was more likely than not a distraction than it was any sort of claim of innocence.
I think what she was trying to do was, I mean, we know she owns a Maggio, right? Did anybody get the plate on that Maggio?
Yeah, I did. It came back to Antonio Rodriguez.
Okay, maybe she had keys to the vehicle. What she was trying to do was get out and let her get in so she could drive.
That's what I was thinking too. Is maybe she was trying to give her the vehicle.
Exactly. By her getting out and running, oh, I'm not helping, was letting her try to get in the driver's seat.
Yeah, but the issue is she pulled up and she quite literally, this deal was shouting, help me.
Yeah.
And she popped the hood and trunk to let her in, right?
We knew what she was doing.
I think that's misdemeanor obstruction, the action of driving in like that. The question, the second thing I had was, that was messy, but usually when people go down from getting tased in the car and the, you know, temporal flux where maybe they get rolled under by the car due to like, you know, their wormhole location being out of sync. Do we pick them up? My instinct is to pick that guy up.
I do.
Really?
I typically do too.
If they get tased and they go, their legs under the car and they go down, I help them up.
Oh, you're saying the car is taking them out? Is that why they went down?
When you tase people next to the car, right?
Yeah.
Go under the car.
Apply the same principle about how pitting works with bubbles, right? The same thing happens with the taser. So when you tase someone, they fall down, right? But maybe where I see them standing is different for the temporal flux. So then when they fall down from the taser, they somehow fall down under the car, which is why they instantly go down from the taser. So typically when that happens, we typically stop the scene and pick those people up because it's like a known issue.
Yeah, I do that too. However, again, it is contextual. Like, if they get tased and one of their gang/friends hits a car over them, then no, right?
I mean, I think we didn't really even have a chance to do that because they loaded him so fast, you know, and they kind of just kept going.
I don't know. I think it's too much of like a judgment call thing.
I'm so sorry, sir.
Like have
yeah, you do. You really have to.
You know?
You really have to judge it at the time. Every scenario is different. 9 times out of 10, I will.
Yeah, I wanted to start like saying, hey, we should gonna cuff this guy, but then like they just all got out and started trying to grab him as well, and I was like, well, fuck.
I think that isn't something that should be necessarily
It's not a black and
publicly
white
announced
situation.
across
Yeah.
the board. That's
Yeah.
very much like if you are a responsible person and have a correct judgment on that, then do it. You know.
I think
But-
they're just used to it, and they vocalize like, so we're not picking him up now or something like that, and that's why I was kind of bringing it up.
Yeah, I mean, if there's like,
I don't know.
I think there's another thing too. Like, is there a break-in opportunity to actually do so? Because
Real
our
quick,
priority.
she only fled on foot, right? I just want to go read her charge because she
Just-
wanted to
just-
hear.
Yeah, she
it.
did.
Yeah, she did. Yep.
Yeah, perfect. Okay.
I think part of it too is like our priorities got to be taken into
Hello?
consideration too. Like,
Right.
you know, is it like a violent call? Like, is it a gang-related shooting? And then in the midst of that, someone gets rolled over. I mean, a thing
Yeah.
like
Okay,
that is
guys.
kind of like, you know. I don't listen. I'm going to be generally speaking. I think she's pretty upset, but quite frankly, like you're rolling in to save your friend from a warrant and shit like that. It's just bound to happen. You know what I mean? And I think we can try our best effort to try to keep things a certain way. But I personally don't have too much sympathy over every fucking call people loading their friends up. If I'm going to be honest.
Right.
So
I
if someone,
think that was a little much. I could understand the first two people rolling up. But
yeah,
The whole like saving your friends thing. I don't know.
I mean,
get it.
it's
I
their
get it and I
choice,
don't.
right?
It's
But
tough.
what I'm trying to like underline here is that like sometimes shit's gonna happen, and we can certainly try our best to try to resolve it. But if things are still constantly like going on, like as we saw, like it's just that priority is gonna have to come afterwards, right? Like I think
Yeah. No, for sure.
like these are
I mean,
known
all-
things.
all
You know,
things-
going in, there's a chance some of that's gonna happen.
I mean,
You know
all
what I
things
mean?
considered, I mean,
Move,
that was very successful, I think, too.
I
Hey,
agree.
watch your
Like,
mouth. Watch your mouth.
This
Yep.
team 95 is in the lobby. The hydra just dropped off. The people from the scene, they're here. If I could get someone to come out with me,
Okay,
I-
I'll grab one
I
of
might
them.
be
Yeah.
a trap or something.
Okay.
No, they probably just have all their
I think
shit
it's
off.
like someone's trap or something. You want to like take a step back in case.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was very
I
smoothly.
thought it went good. I mean, honestly, she just should have been thrown in jail. If
I agree.
yeah,
But at
but
the end of the day, you
I
know,
think
you-
we
you-
gave him a little bit of a break, and I think that's fine too. You know what I
Yep.
mean? So, but
And hey, if they're not grateful about that break, we don't got to give them a break next time, you know?
that's what's up. All right. Oh shit! Oh, is this a charge or this interrogation? Let me post this. I'm a little confused because wasn't it also Crane that like didn't Crane authorize searching him? I'm confused. I just realized.
Seems all okay out there.
Let me see.
I'm going to take a real quick nap just because my MDT broke and I've been pretty scuffed. So I'm just going to take a nap real quick.
Okay.
Yeah. Where's the attach button on this?
Okay.
Let me see. Insert link. Oh wait, I think I just like. How do you do this? I think I gotta put the link in. Let me see.
Night.
Yeah. Been on Crane?
Night, you were the one that searched Carmichael, yeah?
Negative. It's gonna be Bjorn right here.
I searched and documented everything.
Okay, then you want to process her.
Okay.
All right. I just realized, Crane, didn't you authorize the search?
No, I was talking about dildo.
Okay.
Oh, wait. So what happened? I was very confused with that conversation. Maybe that's what threw me off.
I was saying that we are here for a warrant up. I don't care about misdemeanor obstruction, which is what Carmichael was wanted for at the time.
Yeah.
And and I just wanted her detained so she couldn't obstruct. And then as soon as we had dildo loaded up and ready to process and transport, then we could just cut Carmichael loose.
She wants a lawyer as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you bench trial?
A warrant? No, you can ask for a warrant review from a judge, and then the judge can look at it and determine if there is probable cause.
Okay.
All right.
So we can do that. Would you like us to do that? Okay, I will request a judge.
Now, would you like to be the other one's lawyer as well, or should we? I don't know if there's any other lawyers around.
I'm usually the only one that's here.
Yeah, you're the only one. If you want to represent both of them.
Copy organization file the OneDrive. All right, let me see. Where is the upload button? File
What's the other one
upload.
here for?
Same scenario. She just would be getting
Accomplice
obstruction
and
of
all that, or-
not accomplice of the warrant. She just helped her try to escape, so it'd just be obstruction and possessions.
Obstruct. Okay. All right. I guess I'll go talk to her.
Okay.
All right.
Should
All
I
right,
get a
I've
new
requested the
incident-
warrant review.
So
should I get a
run.
new incident report up for the.
No, there's
other
one that's
person or
for the
just-
apprehension.
Okay.
Throw that up or ask
All right.
for me.
So
Yes, I already did.
so run it back for me. So
So here's the deal.
Yeah.
My intention was that we apprehended dildo. We had people who had showed up, who we had at worst, felony obstruction on. Given that this is a warrant for moonshine, and it's not some like violent crime or something, I figured, eye on the prize. If we can get dildo, in custody and ready to be transported without interference, then as soon as we have her in custody and ready to be transported, we can
we
just
don't
cut the
treat
interference
anyone
loose and
else
fuck
like
off.
this.
Because our goal again was the op, not some stupid podunk like obstruction charge.
Okay.
So my intention was, and then someone asked like, should she be searched and ID'd? And I said
Yeah.
yes, thinking that was in reference to dildo because she still had a mask on.
Oh.
We had talked about making sure that the main primary suspect was formally ID'd, right?
Yeah, it was also for the record, I just got back because I had to take a nap. I also was confused by all of that too.
Yeah, so I
Okay.
thought that
I
question
thought
was
the
about dildo.
concern was
And
with.
that's why I said to Sturman here, Rockwell, yeah, let's go ahead and get her, formally ID'd, right? That's why I asked him when I said yes.
Yeah.
So the concern then is, and again, I agree with the discussion that technically, yes, Carmichael committed misdemeanor obstruction at least, at worst, felony, and then, has possessions past that.
What I'm understanding here is that there is miscommunication over the instruction as to who to search.
Correct.
And you did not intend to search.
I did not intend to
Ms.
search Carmichael.
Carmichael.
That's why I was confused when it was announced that she had certain possessions.
Correct.
And that's why
I was the one that asked that question because I had her in custody.
Right.
I said,
10-4,
do you want to
okay.
search her? I thought it was pretty clear, but I understand the hecticness of the situation. At the very same time, like, I'm going to be honest here. I don't. Have we ever not done that? Like, that's where I'm kind of.
Right? Here's my experience.
Who's handling the second
I got her.
person?
So her
That's
charges
right.
are misdemeanor obstruction of justice, class 2.
I'm
possession, and
confused
second-degree
why.
possession of oxy.
Why are
So
we?
Here's my experience. In the past, I'm going to give you scenarios, right? So let's say we go to a maze bank robbery, or let's say we go to a bank truck or any kind of call, right? And we have multiple units pursuing. Let's say that the primary car goes out. It has 2 occupants. Another interference comes in, picks up one of them, but one of the people in the whole commotion gets cuffed. Let's say, for example, it is at the red garage on the staircase going on Peaceful Street.
Why would we?
My
That's
experience
why
is
I'm
then the
so
person that is cuffed
confused.
Gets moved to a place that is safe, so like on the grass, right out of the street, and then we basically have like 1 or 2 units, preferably 2, remain behind as sort of on perimeter, So if anyone comes to pick that suspect up or tries to interfere, we try to stop them. But, we basically don't just immediately search them and load them into a car. In the past.
Yeah, but let's be clear here. That didn't actually happen here, right?
Right. What I'm saying is that in the past, it's been told to me, and I guess the way that I've seen it done is that until you formally call that scene code 4 such that you don't believe there is interference likely to come back, or the interference are so occupied, split up with multiple units on each car, that it is unlikely they will have the ability to come back and get the person in a reasonable amount of time.
I kinda
You
thought
would
we were
like
at that
transport,
point.
right?
Yeah.
Like they
And
had,
I thought we were close to it too, right?
Yeah.
But
I
that's
don't
why
think
sort of just
anyone.
asked.
So there's a couple things I think that need to. Look, I don't think we need to draw this any too deep.
Yeah, no,
I don't. I think part of this is touching on a matter that's going to require high command,
Right.
looking into, because I can tell you certainly this is not how things have been done. It may have been at some point in time. Maybe there's value in that. But I don't want to be like weighing in on something that big without the rest of high command.
Right. That's a policy question for sure.
Exactly. It's a policy thing. I don't necessarily think, generally speaking, like, was it code 4, was it not code 4? I do believe that there was ample time in between those things that I don't think is the end of the fucking world. Right. I do think Susie was upset. And I don't want her upset energy to necessarily
her
have
energy
us
isn't
put
dictating
on
it at all. No.
I understand, but it will to a degree, not with you specifically, but generally speaking.
Yeah, understood.
And in the grand scheme of things, right, at the end of the day, she came in, she chose to pick up her friend. She chose to play dumb and as if she wasn't felony obstructed. She was thrown into cuffs. There was a good, I think, 3 minutes had gone by before her possessions were touched. And could we have waited a little bit longer? Absolutely. But, do we wait 3 minutes? Do we wait 5 minutes? Do we wait 6 minutes? I think that's something that I think should be brought up with the sheriff, and you should discuss with Turner and see, if we want to, do something across the board, just so we don't have some officers doing one thing and then others doing something else. You know what I mean?
I know that policy wise, we're supposed to remove lethals before transport. That for sure. The question is, like,
let's wait.
Should you search?
This isn't productive because I can't even weigh on this. Right? This is like a sheriff and Turner question, so I don't want to push my opinion too heavily in one direction without them weighing in.
I can
for sure.
say that when I initially made contact with her, I confirmed that I was speaking to Dildo over the phone. And then when I picked the meeting location, she showed up. I double checked again, confirming it was her, and she did say yes. So just wanted to clear that up.
Yeah.
I double checked and made sure it was her, by the way.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I got you. I think the ID was fine. It was just miscommunication, but overall it was good.
100%.
Judge has not responded yet.
So does she want to bet?
No, Dildo wanted a review of the warrant.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
So I requested a judge like 7 minutes ago, so we'll wait another like 8 to 10 minutes.
If we have food and water, I'm gonna go see and make sure she doesn't need any. I actually don't have any spare. I don't have any at all.
We should get a bunch of.
I do. Yeah, here, hold on.
Yeah, let me go double check real quick.
Okay. Where was I? I'm posting this.
She's good
Where
right now.
is the
All right.
document? This is Leon.
I'm on the way. What you call me?
I'm going to be honest. It was pretty clear.
What you call me?
I think on the radio, the question is, hey, what do you want done with this person? And he said yes. Now, I get it. He may have not have fully paid attention, but that shit was really, really clear who was being spoken to. At least I think it was.
All right.
So I'm a little bit confused because I'm like, there's enough for me to ask.
Duty call.
And then
Yeah,
enough
you.
that we
No,
even
thank
had
you.
Bjorn
Thanks,
check.
buddy.
And thank
Appreciate
you for like
Thanks for the help.
giving the advice and
Sorry,
kind
I've
of
been sure you
giving
needed
info.
something. That there was a shit show going on.
I was to let you know that
Um,
cuffed in the lobby.
Oh, appreciate it. Yeah.
Quangle?
That was it.
It does sort of feel like he's regretting it and it's kind of passing the buck a little bit, but I don't But I think even beyond that, you know, I don't. It sounds kind of pussyfooted, if I'm going to be honest. I'm not necessarily a big fan. Giving people a chance is good, but like, bro, like,
They pulled up to the scene, and she immediately like got out of the vehicle and like popped the hood of the truck. We believe to
I don't think on one hand, here we go.
You know, one thing, you know, not to start this whole thing up, but you know what we absolutely should have done? Maybe other units did it before I got involved. Check the radios, not actually search them, but fully check the radios to kind of, you know what I mean?
Yep,
Confirm
100%.
that link.
Yeah, I mean that's something I typically would have done, but again, it was the whole miscommunication about who to search that
No,
kind of threw it
100%.
off.
And
Yeah.
that shit happens, you know. At the end of the day, it was still successful, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that might get better now that we have a better police force is there might be less saving your boy mentality if we're more effective. Because honestly, what I'm noticing is we've been so ineffective lately, or for the past couple months, that when people get arrested, it turns into like a huge deal because their gun's probably hot from like the last 3 weeks because they've just never been caught because like the force has been so weak.
But
And
if
so
we're consistently making
if we're actually catching people, maybe it won't matter as much.
Yep. I mean,
Because like I've been catching people and finding them like $180,000 because like Carmichael, for example, the last time I arrested her,
Okay, perfect. Signed. Okay, this is the correct one.
10 criminal
very
use
good,
incidents.
very good.
So like just by itself, that was like, you know, 250 months and like $100,000 or $50,000.
All the other things on the original scene.
And then on top of the mass OIS or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I think like, I mean, to be honest, like I've been bringing this is I always try to keep an eye on the warrant apprehension, like the warrant list, because I think that especially as we have more and more people on duty and we are having a lot of things handled, I personally very much want to be apprehending as many of these warrants as possible, because I noticed that as soon as somebody, like we lose somebody and we put a warrant out, we never try to follow up on it for the most part. I don't fully blame people. And like
You should always be searching. I don't want to get into a debate outside of high command first.
All right, still haven't responded. Hey Bjorn, real
that's
quick.
why I'm saying this is
Sorry
a
to
bigger
interrupt.
conversation. Yeah, when someone like in a non-violent scene,
you
you
run her
need
gun?
to be IDing them. It's bro.
Let's go ahead and
You
do
need
that,
to
'cause we
think
haven't had a
grander
response yet.
scheme. This isn't fucking GTA Online, right? And I kind of am on that
Yeah,
energy.
it's
Is
been
like
12, 13 minutes. So we'll
bro,
give another like 5.
these
but,
aren't. We can't be
after
treating
that,
shit
it's gonna need
like
to be an appeal.
like that, because
I'm coming over. For
you
a
then
second.
wonder why
Lord,
bigger
I'll speak to you
cases
and-
can't be
and
solved. What do you stand there with a suspect without IDing him? That's crazy. Yeah, it doesn't mean you take the shit off them, right? But you should identify what they have. 1000%. I don't think we've been doing what's being inferred in a long time. That is something that we could move to, but like I said, that's a beyond me conversation. You know what I mean? But generally speaking, that to me sounds hyper pussy.
I informed them.
I think understand what means that a all right, but checking people's
Weapons
things.
clean.
Bef-
Said no word from a judge yet.
Um,
All right.
You said nothing from the judge yet.
Say again.
You said you haven't heard anything back from the judge.
No, I requested the
Where did Frost
review
go?
of the warrant at 11 minutes after the hour. It's been like 15. So, like I said, we can probably wait another like 5. Then it'll have been like 20. Past
yeah,
that,
that's
we
why I
usually,
shut the conversation down. This
uh,
isn't.
not
This is
send
for
people.
anyone here to discuss.
And,
the high
obviously,
command
I-
topic.
Ms. Dills here is going to appeal it. No time served for something like that, or can we still give time served for the time she actually spent in here waiting for a judge? 'Cause I feel like that's-
So lawyers, regardless of
All right, let me go
plea,
talk to
based on
Frost about it.
legislation, you can give up to 25% time off just for the use of the lawyer.
Hello.
Did you hear that? I wish you were there for that conversation. I had to shut down.
No, I wasn't. I had to leave because it was fucking driving me insane.
Wait, which part?
All of it.
All right, we got to talk about it. So,
Bye.
all right, come. You at the station?
No, I'm just getting some food, getting some fuel.
Wait, which topic are you talking about? Do we search them? Do we not search them? All that kind of stuff?
Just all of it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Like
Those
people,
kind
like-
of conversations.
It was blatant.
Yeah.
Like this is what pisses me off.
Yeah.
It was blatant that she had committed felony of justice. Like that goes quite literally without saying. So like, why are we arguing that there wasn't? Like I don't even know what the argument was about. Like, oh, I feel bad.
I'll
Like, no,
break
she
it.
committed a fucking
listen,
crime.
Look. I'll tell you what's going on. Come talk to me once you're done, and I'll explain it a lot more clearly.
Okay.
But I think there is something, regardless of what happens, these kind of debates, and I've already tried to make it clear, this
Yeah.
kind of conversation is for high command, because having these kind of debates, whether there's intention or not, becomes a do you get it or do you not get it thing.
Well, and this is why, and that's why
I kept shutting it down. And however, I do think coming out of that there is confusion over it, which does imply that we need to have a appropriate answer. Even
I
though
agree.
I don't think it's that fucking complicated.
It
But
really
you have to
isn't.
understand that some people can only see black and white and not colors, right?
Yeah.
And whether admit or not, Susie was pretty like a little angry, right? Which is fine. She's allowed to be, right? And we can't judge why she was angry. But I think that can sometimes make people get in their fifis and lose their,
Well,
you know,
I think it's
sense
about
of
our
priority,
conversation the other day about us being soft make people soft.
right? That's exactly. I was in the same boat.
The thing is, and it's like this situation, right? If and this is why I know Declan wants undersheriff, but he can't help himself. Like
I
speak
don't.
to people in a
He needs to.
condescending way.
I needed to actually tell him to shut the fuck up at one
That,
point.
the problem is
Like, he
when he's
won't shut
explaining
that
a
shit.
situation, he's explaining it like everyone in the room is stupid, and it's really condescending. And I dislike the way he teaches things a lot. I really dislike
I
it.
think he's good. I think sometimes he just crosses a line. Like in this thing, like I almost need to be like, listen, dog, you understand this conversation can get real weird, and you're
Yes,
putting people in a like. I
yes.
get it. Like you know how to slap their asses sometimes a little bit different, but you can't be telling me this 1 minute and then also in the next minute wondering why cops are doing something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There
and
just
it's like
needs
this.
to be a what's happening, and I think this is something that can be explained to him because I think he does take feedback well, is that there are occasions he knows what he's doing, right? But sometimes he forgets there's how to explain things in enough of a generalized form where it's compatible with a lot of people versus recognizing that what he imagined in his mind not taking place exactly to the T of how he imagined it in his mind is okay, and that's going to happen often because there's many people.
It's like this whole conversation about when you tase someone and a car crushes them, do you give them a hand? And that's why I said this is a conversation that we don't need to broadcast or we don't need to announce. If you are responsible and you have good judgment and there's a good context, then yes, you will help them up. But should we be enabling that? Absolutely not. So like we don't need to discuss things like that
in the midst
setting,
of
right?
all this, in a warrant apprehension, we should be wondering if we're trying to get. Yeah, no, I think you understand what I'm saying. Like that kind of ruined the mood. I'm gonna be honest.
No, it did, and it's like when that woman with the pop tires the other day, right? Like you handle situations by situations. You can't announce this or the way that he's speaking about it, like tell people what to do, because it isn't a black or white situation. Like it's very gray area.
Can I be honest with you?
What?
It was made very clear because I'm the one that asked him, do you want her searched now as I'm standing next to the person? Yes. And I'm like, okay, all right. And he made the call to do it, but in a way he's describing what happened. He's acting like he didn't make that call. It's like, oh, miscommunication. Bitch, you're supposed to be paying attention next to her. You clearly made it. I'm pretty sure I was like even more clear than her or whatever. Like, I think it was pretty damn obvious because I walked up to him from her. Like, you know what I mean?
But this is where the problem goes, right? He said searched him. Then he's had a bit of backlash, and now he's saying he didn't. But the problem is, regardless
but it's
of
okay anyway.
Wait. Regardless of, well, it is okay anyway. She committed a crime. But regardless of the seizing the weapons or whatever, the fact that we were told to search, if we then searched and saw those weapons and then ignored it, we're not doing that. Like, that's then on us. Like, we're fucking up, and we can't do that.
That's exactly it.
Like, oh, okay, yep, she's got a class 2 and loads of magazines, but it's okay. We were told to let her go. Like, no, like, you can't do that. That's not how you too far gone at that point.
I'm gonna be honest, all right? Brother, people do not want us to be pussies, all right? I will die on this hill is that these gangs do not want us to be pussies where they can just come in and we just fucking bend over and they let us fuck them in the ass. There is no shot. They have an expectation. Not that it matters to me a little bit, right? Those are conversations I'm always down for, right? But I am willing to die on this hill that cops are people are expecting these things to happen. And this is a part of that formula, right? Because if I'm going to play that scene back in my mind, right? It's a warrant apprehension. They call their friend. They come up and try to pick them. They know they're going to get hit upside the head, right? Whatever. And, you tried to pick them up. You're going to get thrown in cuffs. If you genuinely feel like you didn't do anything wrong, then you fucking just chill. You know what I mean? But now all of a sudden you got...
Put the phone down.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I think you did too. I mean, it's not the end of the world. I think the bigger thing is like these sort of debates aren't really good to have in front of other officers, because the reality is, chat, this is something that gets determined in high command channels. You know what I mean? Because it touches sort of like a unless things have changed, which I don't think they have yet. Touches on like balancing things, right? And it creates I don't think it's being intended, but I think I need to pull him aside, and I did explain it to him a little bit. It's like it creates we're no longer having a conversation that's fully role play, whether or not, there's an attempt to be. It actually becomes a conversation of like crim cop balance and how to change it live, which is fine in a high command setting, but in a hallway with 95s with everyone from a PPO all the way up it becomes like we might as well be, you know what I mean? And so that's why that conversation can't happen, right? It also creates a kind of a get it attitude, right? But a debate. The only people that win there are drama frogs, right? It ends up not being very productive. I think that's something that needs to be conversation that needs to be like, hey, post facto, here's what happened. Yeah, I'm just talking to the sheriff right now.
Oh, okay.
Because there may be validity, but it's not something that can be easily RP'd out because you're talking about balance things that doesn't make sense in RP. Because in RP, it wouldn't make any fucking sense to be like, yo, did we wait too long to check them? Otherwise, it might be this thing or that thing. And it's okay to make mistakes or do something a little bit too quick. But at the same time, you got to own up to how those things also occurred, you know?